What's up, everybody? We are on the road to 100. I'm Chris Eaton, and welcome to episode 97 of Snakes and the Fat Man.
Something's holding me back. You feed my ego, together we go. Talking dirty, playing cheap. I know I'm in too deep. Running out of kryptonite.
Oh, okay. So we're still not going to talk about it. You know what? I'm just going to go over to the new head honcho over at Morph Market, Darien, today, and we're going to talk about it there. How do you like them apples? All right, let's just fucking read this new script. Morph Market will be rolling out a lot of really cool new features over the next few months to make the platform better for both buyers and sellers. Okay. Okay. One feature that'll be available in a few weeks is a local section. The reptile community has never had a way to find animals locally other than reptile expos. Morph Market's new local feature is about to change that. Another new feature that'll be available soon is an inexpensive membership for reptile keepers who are not necessarily selling. It will provide many new features that will help everyone who uses Morph Market. The icing on the cake, yep, we got a little fudgy chocolate icing on that cake, is that a portion of the fees will go directly to USR. These are only two of the many new things that Morph Market is working on, and there will be a lot more still to come. Go check them out at morphmarket.com. All right, we're switching it up here. We're gonna do the Redline ad second this week because I'm like that. You never know what you're gonna get with me. I am like a box of chocolates. Redline Shipping continues its race to the top of the reptile shipping world, pushing for #1 by summer of 2023. Redline Shipping has a modern website that is smooth, fast, and easy to use. And Redline offers fantastic shipping discounts for all of your live reptile, aquatic, and invert shipping needs. You could ship your merchandise and other dry goods with Redline Shipping as well. Discounts are available for all services: overnight, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day, sixth day, even the seventh day. Ground. Anyway, Redline Shipping offers on-time and live arrival insurance and world-class customer service. Partnered with Morph Market and NARBC, Redline Shipping is the gold standard for live shipping services. If you're getting a custom discount from one of the other shipping competitors, reach out to Robin at Redline and let him try and beat that discount to win your business and support. You are better off red, my friends. As we leave winter, head into spring, and approach summer, don't forget to pay close attention to the Redline shipping guidelines for temperatures and for heat pack use. This can be a tricky time of year for temperature regulation, so it's important to follow Redline guidelines for safety and healthy live arrival of your animals. You can reach out to the Redline staff at support@redlineshipping.com with any temperature, heat pack, or packaging questions. They are there to support you. Here we go. This is the good part now. Use code ROBIN60 for 60% off the FedEx retail rate on your first 2 shipments. And once you've used that coupon, use code FATMAN5 for an additional $5 off. That's crazy. That's fucking just insane amounts of savings for you people. Join Team Redline and be better off red. RedlineShipping.com. All right, so you know I'm not going to get away without talking about what they're calling the Holy Thursday Massacre that happened last week, where FWC went down to Chris Coffey's place in Florida and killed a bunch of pythons, retics and berms, and a pregnant boa. Incidentally, the boa is still legal to own as a pet in Florida. And the retics and berms should have been legal too. He should have gotten grandfathered in, but that's neither here nor there right now. Now, I'm sure that everybody's seen the video, and you don't need to be a board certified herpetologist to know that these people had zero clue on what they were doing. From the way they pulled the snakes out of the enclosures, all the way down to not knowing what type of animal is legal or illegal to keep in their own state. And these guys are supposed to be the enforcers of this rule. I mean, how could you even have a job if you can't tell the difference between snakes at FWC? Now, USARK and USARK Florida are all over this, and I believe that there can possibly be some positive outcomes from all of this. Nothing is really going to be positive because those animals are already dead, but I do believe there are a few things that possibly could come out of this. I think at the very least there's going to be rewrites of procedural things and minimum basic requirements that FWC employees will have to know before they're allowed to either confiscate an animal again or euthanize an animal again. I think that at the minimum, there's going to be a rewrite of that training manual, if you want to call it that. I mean, you have to have basic childlike knowledge to know the difference between what's legal in your state and what's not legal in your state if you're going to be the one enforcing these rules. I know that from what I read, Ron DeSantis is aware of this, and it's actually making national news thanks to USARK Florida. So I've been seeing a lot of that in like USA Today and Newsweek, and all of that is a step forward. I mean, this might even lead to a total overhaul of FWC. I mean, it could happen, right? I mean, we could keep hope alive. It could happen. The thing that I'm worried about is historically with the reptile community, things are forgotten about after 2 or 3 weeks. We like to think that we're this massive group of people, but we're still not. The average person on the street is not going to give a shit what happened to a bunch of terrifying 18-foot snakes. Listen, FWC is corrupt, all right? We all already know that. We also know that any law passed in Florida is going to eventually trickle down to laws in other states. We all know that. Even the dumbest person in our hobby knows that. So there's no need to constantly talk about that. I still think that the biggest threat to this hobby are the people that are in the hobby. And until you start policing yourselves and not doing stupid things with your animals for fucking likes on Instagram, and keep letting your venomous snakes get loose in the neighborhood full of school kids, the damage from any government is going to be secondary to the potential damage that certain people are doing in this hobby. Notice I said certain ones of you. I mean, I'm good. But can you imagine the first time one of these fucking venomous jackoffs that are handling rattlesnakes and cobras on their videos for YouTube likes gets killed? I mean, that's gonna change everything. So please, fucking FWC, Florida, get it together. And to all the other fucking morons that are doing nothing but garnering public attention for stupidity, it's not going to stop. I know that wasn't the most eloquent way to address this whole thing, and I definitely feel horrible for Chris Coffey and the other guy who literally, he had to watch his animals get killed. It's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. Hopefully, USARK Florida and USARK will get shit done, because USARK and USARK Florida have been known when huge things like this happen to kind of get the right thing done. So if you're not a member of USARK or USARK Florida, fucking what are you even watching this fucking dumb show for? Just fucking become a member to both of them, okay? I think it costs $5 a month to join USARK. I think it costs $7 a month to join USARK Florida. All right, just fucking get on it, people. All right, enough depressing things. Let's head on over to Herps and see what they got going on in the coming weeks and months. Look at that. They're going to be in Austin on April 22nd and 23rd. They're going to be in Pearland, Texas on May 6th and 7th. They're going to be in Lake Charles, Louisiana on June 3rd and 4th. Then they're going to be at the big show, Conroe, Texas. I'm hoping to make it out to there. I'm not saying that I will, but I'm saying I'm hoping to. And the Conroe show is going to be on June 10th and 11th. They're going to be in the old Shreveport, Louisiana on June 24th and 25th. They're going to be in Slidell, Louisiana on July 22nd and 23rd. Then they're going over to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Shit, goddamn hell, fuck. On July 29th and 30th. Then they're going to be back in Texas, in Corpus Christi on August 12th and 13th. Listen, you know what the deal is. All right, Herps is the best run local show circuit in the fucking country. All right, so get out to one of their 30 shows that they have a fucking year and fucking go enjoy yourself. And if you have questions, go to herpshow.net and ask Sean and Lori, and they will tell you exactly what you need to know. Again, herpshow.net. All right, so I can't fucking believe that some of you are still not using fucking RepTheChip. I mean, really, just like fuck you guys. Like, really, just fuck you guys in the fucking asshole. Okay? Get on board the fucking RepTheTrain. Pull that dick out of your ass so that it's not quiet when you fart anymore. Okay? That should be a thing. You should always make noise when you fucking fart. If you're not making noise when you fart, it's because you're getting fucked by these other cocoa chip companies. Okay? Come on, guys. Get on it. Don't go with some of these fucking stupid named fucking cocoa blocks that are inferior to RepTheChip. I know what you think. You think, oh, they all get it from the same place. I got a little secret for you. They do not, okay? RepTheChip is the best cocoa substrate on the fucking planet. Go check them out now at repthechip.com. All right, so the Fat Man is partnered up with my brother from another mother, Uncle Mike Stefani of Mike's Monitors, to run a contest for all of you guys, giving away one 2023 Mertens monitor hatched by Uncle Mike himself. And the other thing is, we're giving it away on episode 100. We figured we needed to do something cool, something exclusive that nobody else is doing. So Mike fucking came to me and said, hey Chris, why don't we give away a Mertens monitor, a $2,500 Mertens monitor. Okay, so the rules to this contest are gonna be similar to the last one. After this episode today, you're gonna see an ad on Instagram and Facebook announcing the start of this contest. If you wanna enter, we need you to share that ad and tag Mike's Monitors and Snakes and the Fat Man in it. Take a screenshot of that share and email it to fatmancontest@gmail.com. It should be right over here, fatmancontest@gmail.com. That's it. Now, pay attention to some of the fucking fine print that we're gonna talk about here. I'll put the winner of the contest in touch with Uncle Mike within 2 days of us announcing the winner. That person has to provide proof that they could take care of the animal by sending a picture of the enclosure that the animal is going to live in. And that has to be done within 2 weeks of announcing the winner. If you fail to do that, a new winner is going to be chosen. Mike and I have actually discussed this for hours and have come to the conclusion that this is the only way we can ensure the safety and the well-being of the animal going forward. So the reality is, if you don't think that you could act like an adult and take care of this fucking animal, just don't enter it, okay? But for the adults that do enter it, this is gonna be pretty fun. You know, like I said before, we wanted to do something special for episode 100, a fucking milestone in Fat Man history, and fucking Mike stepped up. And incidentally, Mike is also gonna be a guest on episode 100 because I just love talking to the fucking guy. So again, fatmancontest@gmail.com. Once you see the ad, share it, tag Mike's Monitors and Snakes and the Fat Man, take a screenshot of that ad, email it to fatmancontest@gmail.com. Good luck, everybody, or good luck to the adults that are actually gonna pull through with what they're gonna commit to just by entering this contest. And really, I can't even thank Mike enough for even doing this. So I appreciate you, buddy. Listen, say goodbye to spreadsheets. Say hello to Clutch. Hello, Clutch. Listen, animal management software at its fucking finest, okay? Clutch, that's CLTCH.io. It's open now for everybody, for all of you, okay? Go to Clutch, CLTCH.io, and join up today and fucking try it out, man. It's a fucking lifesaver. I mean, I don't know if it's a lifesaver, but I did see the fucking platform and I have played around with it and used it, even though I don't have enough animals to even consider using it. Again, 2 frogs, 1 cage. That sounds a lot like 2 girls, 1 cup. Yeah, I bet you never thought you'd hear a mention of 2 girls, 1 cup in a Justin ad read, okay? But that's what we're all about here. We're all about breaking boundaries, okay? Fucking breaking new ground. Anyway, listen, you know you want to fucking do it. Clutch.io. That's CLTCH.io.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes and the Fat Man proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Canova. So in the past few years, Canova's become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, everybody? Look who I got here. Mr. Richard Allen, Army vet with balls. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. What's up? How you doing?
Man. Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been keeping for 6 years. This is going to be my fourth year breeding.
Fourth year breeding. Okay, perfect. So you know how this works here. We're going to put 15 minutes on the clock, and you're going to pimp your wares and just promote your shit. And we're going to start that 15 minutes right now. So right off the bat, how'd you come up with the name?
I'm an Army vet, and I work with ball pythons.
So it's pretty literal.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And what brought you into this whole thing?
I want to get over my fear of snakes.
Oh, all right, cool. And so you're an Army vet. You were probably in some shit places in the world, and they probably had snakes there, right?
Actually, where I was at, most of the time there wasn't too many snakes.
Well, okay, all right. And where did the fear come from?
My older brothers chased me when I was little.
Okay. and how did that how did you overcome that fear?
I told my wife one day, I said I want to go to a reptile show and see if I can get over my fear of snakes, and she said great. So we went, and the whole way up, it's an hour and a half drive up to where it was at. The whole way she's telling me you're not buying anything. Well, of course, I held my first snake, and I have PTSD, anxiety, depression. My anxiety was up so high, and as soon as the guy put that snake in my hand, it came right down.
Right.
And I realized that's what I needed was those. What's that?
Was it a ball python?
Yeah, it was a ball python.
Okay, all right. And that was 4 or 5 years ago, and I could see from your background, it pretty much worked, right?
Oh yeah, it works.
And what show was it at?
It was at a cold-blooded expo, in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay. And you're from Oklahoma originally, right?
No, I'm originally from Wisconsin.
Okay. What brought you down to the great weather and the insane heat in Oklahoma?
A job.
Oh, okay. All right. What do you do, or what did you do?
I'm medically retired now. I was working at a Army ammunition plant.
Okay, cool. So how long were you in the Army for?
8 years.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the typical thank you for your service. I'm glad you chose to fight because I ain't fighting, right? So fucking good for you, man.
Appreciate it.
Do you remember the first ball python that you held? What was it?
It was just a plain het lavender albino.
So a normal.
A normal het lavender albino.
A normal did it for you.
Yep, actually 2 of them, and they came home with me.
Oh, they did come home with you.
Yes.
All right. And so you got your wife to agree?
After a little bit, yeah.
Okay. All right. And now coming from that lavender or that het lavender, what are you working with now?
Clown, pied, lavender albino, ultramel. I got some paint that I'm waiting for the girl to grow up on. I just picked up a stranger black pastel, 100% het pied male, breeder ready. So he's going to a few girls this year.
Nice. Did you get your paint from Limey?
I got it in a auction for a charity auction.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. Now, how many snakes do you have at the house right now?
Right now we're at about 210.
After years of nothing, you went from 0 to 210 pretty quick.
Yes. Yes.
And are you a show guy now?
Yeah, we do the shows.
Okay. And what do you average clutch count a year?
Last year's average clutch was 7 eggs a clutch.
Okay. No, I mean the average clutch amount.
Oh, we did 25 last year.
25. Okay. And do you do the herp shows out there in Oklahoma?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah, that's what I want to hear. Yeah, they're a great fucking show circuit. Is the amount of sales in the last 2 years, has it slowed down or picked up for you?
Slowed down a little bit.
Right. Yeah, there's a little bit of a correction going on right now.
Right.
Where all the COVID people are kind of getting out of it or selling all their shit, you know? Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you've been doing this for 6 years, what's the amount of money that you put into it versus the amount of money that you got out of it?
We probably put 75,000 into it.
Okay.
And at this point, we haven't got anything back out of it yet.
Nothing yet, right?
I mean, we're still we're still in the red.
You'll be having strangers and some other cool stuff. So I expect you to kind of start chipping away at that stone fucking this year.
Oh yeah.
And what's the what do you I'm just trying to think of a way to say it, because you got started once you were older, right?
Yes.
So you how old are you now?
I'm 51 now.
51. So you started at like 45.
Yes.
Okay. And basically you went from 0 to 200 fucking really fast. Do you keep up with the social media end of the hobby?
I have Instagram. I have Facebook. I don't do YouTube. I have a YouTube, but I don't use it. I haven't used it in probably 4 years.
Right.
I'm on Morph Market. I do all that stuff.
Right. Do you do TikTok? Tell me you don't do TikTok.
No way.
All right. It's TikTok is way too that's for the young people, man.
Yes, very much so.
And when was your first show? Or when did you vend at your first show?
Our very first show we vended 3 years ago, I think it was.
Okay. All right. So you started selling pretty quickly.
Well, yeah. As soon as I had 6 clutches the first year.
Okay.
That I bred. I had 6 clutches, and I started vending as soon as they were ready to go.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. That's the way to do it. All right. Well, let's talk some sponsors now. You're right next to Texas. Tell me you use Reptichip.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? I'm already vet. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. JT does not give you a fuck you. Fellow Army vet, fucking there's no way you were going to get a fuck you from fucking JT. Now, do you have a focus cubed habitat cage in your house?
No.
Wow. Stephen and Ashley give you a fuck you, but being that you're a vet, out of respect, they're going to pull that fuck you back. Have you ever been to a herp show?
All kinds of them.
All kinds of them. That's what I want to hear. Best show circuit in the fucking country. That's all I'm saying. Fucking Sean Gray does not give you a fuck you. Have you ever used Stewart Design to work your logo?
Unfortunately, not.
It doesn't even matter, because Stewart Design is also a vet. He does not give you a fuck you. Okay? Have you ever bought a gecko from Geeky Gecko Creations?
No.
It doesn't even matter, because Frank's not going to give you a fuck you either, because you're a vet. Too much respect in the house. Now, have you ever bought a snake from Justin?
Unfortunately, not. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because
I know.
Justin's not going to give you a fuck you either. Okay? You're a member of USARC, obviously, right?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever used Redline shipping?
Not yet. I haven't shipped anything out in probably a year and a half.
Okay. Well, Redline still does not give you a fuck you. Respect, my friend. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So, when is your next show?
Next weekend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Is it Oklahoma City next weekend?
No, I will be in Janesville, Wisconsin next weekend.
What show is that?
It's a show me show.
Okay. Oh, with Mickey.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How far will you travel for a show before you just say that's too far?
I don't know if there is a distance yet.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh man, you're fucking psycho. Fucking yeah.
pretty much.
Well, Texas and Oklahoma people, when I was at Arlington, they were like, "Yeah, we drove 13 hours here," and
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't drive 13 hours to a show if you fucking paid me, man. It's just insane. Now you're doing all this stranger stuff. Are you kind of mixing the stranger into recessive stuff? Because that's really where it's gonna
Right
be.
now, we're just doing it to the pies. We're trying to
Right.
get some good stranger pies out of it.
And what's your average snake cost for a snake? In other words, do you concentrate on the pet end or do you concentrate on the breeder end of it?
So far, I've been a lot of pet end.
Okay.
Right now, probably $500 is normal for me.
Okay.
I got some that are above it, but most of them are below it.
Okay. And do you go to any of the big shows?
We do Arlington.
Okay. You ever do a Tinley yet?
I've been up there, but I haven't been to it now.
Right. Yeah. Tinley is work, man. It's definitely a lot of work. Do you plan on vending the Tinleys and the fucking St. Louis's and what's the other one they have? Schaumburg, yeah.
Yeah, not sure yet on those.
Okay.
I like doing Arlington because it's fairly close.
How far is Arlington from you?
3 hours.
Oh, that's still a lot, man. Right? That's still a hike. And what are the plans for this? In other words, 5 years from now.
5 years from now, my goal is to be producing snakes that are gorgeous. That's all I care about.
That's it.
I mean, the money return is fine, but I am more into the genetics than anything on these.
Okay. So your plan isn't necessarily to become a Justin or
I could never become a Justin. I'm too old.
yes. Believe me, I know the feeling. Okay. So I totally get it. Does your wife help you with all this?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is she like what's her role in the business?
She's right there with me on everything.
Really? So she goes to the shows and everything else with you?
She's right next to me at the show. She's helping people out. She's doing what needs to be done.
And what was her reaction when she spent years with you where you didn't have one snake and then all of a sudden you have 200? What was the reaction from her?
She was somewhat surprised. We have 6 kids, and 5 of the 6 kept begging for snakes their whole life, and I kept telling them no. So she was a little surprised that we're this big, but she knows I'm not done yet.
6 fucking kids.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you're part of the problem, man. Okay, too many kids. All right, you just basically made 6 people that are gonna fucking take a shit today, and it's gonna end up in a river. Okay, so that's what you did. You created an environmental disaster. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. So does your wife handle the business end of it too? In other words,
Yes.
does she do sales? Does she do
Yep.
marketing
Yep,
and all that? Okay.
everything. She
Okay.
keeps the books. She does everything for me.
Right. And would you say the business is dependent upon you two working together? Like if you had to do this alone, would you be able to do, as many?
No way.
Right. Yeah, I just figured you got a lot. I mean, 200 snakes is a full-time job as it is, just
Right.
taking care of them. And then, okay, so your next show is in Wisconsin.
Yep.
And then there's a herp show the following week after that. I
Bryan
think.
College Station will be there.
Right. So you go all the way down to Bryan. Bryan got to be what, like 6 hours for you?
Yeah, we go all the way to Conroe. Actually, we're going to go to Lake Charles this year too.
In Louisiana.
Yeah.
Fucking man, you're really Man, you really don't fuck around.
Got to get
Right?
the name out there.
That's right. Now, how could people get in touch with you if they had to get in touch with you?
They can email me at Army Vet with Balls, but it's just a W, not the word with, at gmail.com. They can get me a hold of me at Instagram, which is Army_vet_W_balls. They can get a hold of me on my Facebook. I've got both my personal Facebook and an Army Vet with Balls page.
Right.
My phone number is 315-577-2907.
Well, you may regret that, but it doesn't fucking matter because your time is up. And I hate ringing the buzzer on a vet, just so you know. Okay. Hate doing it. But fucking it gotta be done. And I don't know if I necessarily would have put your phone number out there because
Yeah, I don't care. It's on all my business cards, so
you're going to be getting a ton of phone sex requests from the snake ladies out there.
alrighty.
So it's I mean, it's a cross, but we got to bear with it, right? So fucking
Exactly.
right. You know how it is. Everybody, go subscribe, follow, and like Richard Allen at Army Vet with Balls. Richard, thank you so much for fucking taking the time to be here today. I appreciate it. So, it's in the middle of a day on a Saturday, and I know you got better things to do. All right. So thank you again for taking the time to, just kind of hang and chill with me for 15 minutes.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Listen, guys, Stewart Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, the quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Stewart Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Stewart Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Stewart Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Stewart Design today. You could reach them at sdidentity.com. Again, that's sdidentity.com. All right, so since there's been no formal announcement of the sale of Morph Market in any of my ad reads, okay, I decided to just go right to the new horse's mouth himself and bring you guys along for the fucking ride and have him talk about all the new details coming over to the old Morph Market. Here's my one-on-one with one of my new bosses, Darien Drollinger of Morph Market. What's up, everybody? Look who I have here. I have the new Morph Market head honcho, Darien Drollinger. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's just start with, I'm positive that everybody knows about you now, but for the 5 people that don't, just give me a brief history on what you did prior to this purchase of Morph Market.
Not a whole lot. Just dubia.com, and some people know me from that. Haven't really done a whole lot else. Used to breed reptiles before that, but that was years ago, and pretty much, the bug guy. So
It's pretty funny that you're like, yeah, not a whole lot, but you're like the biggest bug guy in the country, right?
one of them, yeah.
Dubia roach guy in the country. And obviously you've been dealing with the reptile people for years now, so you kind of know the mentality.
Yeah.
But is your interaction with them more on the pet side or more on the breeder side?
I mean, in the past, it's been more on the pet side for the most part. The last few years, I mean, we've definitely been selling a lot more to breeders and pet stores, a little bit more wholesale. That's gotten a little bit bigger the last few years. So I've definitely, been dealing with sellers, Morph Market related people, I guess, for a while now, but not to this level.
What made you start the bug company? Like, what made you just think, man, there's a ton of money in bugs?
Well, I mean, I didn't really start out that way. That was something, I just found something I wanted to do, and didn't make much money for 10 years, at all.
Right.
Totally got by for 10 years, but, made it work. Took a bunch of odd jobs and did whatever I could, but it's worked out, fairly well at this point. And it definitely was something that, I wasn't really in it for the money. I mean, it was more of I got the itch, I just had to get into roaches and kind of nerded out on it for a decade.
Yeah, you got the bug,
Yep,
so yeah. Well, and obviously, I mean, like you said, 10 years, you were basically living like a current ball python breeder, right? Like just hand to mouth. But after 10 years, I mean, obviously it's paid off because you are, like I said, probably the biggest dubia roach guy in the country. Has that been just going so smooth that you're like, I want to put another 1,000 problems on my plate and buy Morph Market and deal with even more reptile people?
I mean, honestly, not at all. It's, it hasn't been that smooth. I still work like crazy on that, and there's new problems every week, things that, I mean, you just never know. There's a lot of stuff that happens with it, but I've been eyeing Morph Market for a while now. That's something that, I've always been pretty outspoken about, the way that I think the industry needs to move forward, and, that people are, constantly getting into reptiles, and the industry is growing, and, the community's growing, and we need to have the best, I guess, presence that we can, publicly. So that's something that, I feel is really important. So I definitely didn't get into Morph Market, just, I'm going to make some money off of this or anything like that. It was more about, what can I do next that is going to progress things in a positive direction. So couldn't do as much with roaches.
And how long have you been looking at, like when was the inflection point when you were seeing what Morph Market was all about? When did you decide, oh, I think I could do a little bit more with that than it's currently doing?
About a year and a half, 2 years ago is when I started working on my own platform, started working on a more of a social media app, I guess, what you could call it, you know, with a marketplace and things like that.
Right.
That's actually pretty much done. We're just revamping things a little bit to feed into Morph Market, you know, kind of have them go hand in hand. But that's something that we are going to launch as well. So
Right.
we'll have kind of we'll have Morph Market, and then we'll have Cold Blooded is what the name is for this other platform, and it's less of a marketplace, more of kind of a community app, social media, things like that. So,
Right. Like a Facebook for reptile people.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And that's going to be integrated into Morph Market.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of similar to the way the current community is on Morph Market. They've got their own little community, and it's going to be similar to that, but definitely better. So,
Oh, okay. Well, and when you first came into this, was there a reluctance on John's part to sell, or was he just like, yes, finally?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's kind of been at a point where he's ready to, move on to something, different, and kind of ease out a little bit, with Morph Market, just because it's definitely been stressful over the years for him. And, he's got some grays, and, it's a tough thing to do. What he built, it's not easy to do. It's not an easy task. And, dealing with a lot of things over the years with, sellers, buyers, all that. I mean,
right.
There's a lot to it. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's much. I mean, it grew so much so fast that you know that John wasn't the only guy there, for the last couple of years. So John has really positioned himself over the last couple of years as the face of Morph Market. Now, are you taking that part on yourself, or is he gonna stay on as like a CTO or anything like that?
we're still working some of that out, but he'll be around for a while either way.
Right. Okay. Now I'm not gonna get into money, all right, because I've just heard rumblings on all different sides, from anywhere from this number to that number. But how fast do you plan on implementing the changes that you want to do to it?
Most of the changes I want to get done within a year.
Within the first year, okay.
Yep.
And you don't have an engineering background like John does, right? So you probably have people that you work with Dubia that you're bringing on with this, or how's that
Yeah,
going?
we've got a pretty solid team. We're keeping the current team that he has as well. My background, I mean, I'm not as good as him for sure, but I do have some, programming background and development, but also more of the design and UI UX
Right.
background. So that's where I'm going to really be able to shine. Is not only are we keeping the current team, we're also adding a few people, and then on top of that, I've got the, more of the design and UI UX side of things. So I'm hoping that we can really make a lot of progress with it.
Right. Now, is there a plan to go after the pet people now as well? Because I noticed that Morph Market, although people that wanted pets did go to Morph Market, there was, Morph Market is the majority of members, I would assume, are breeders, right?
Yeah, there's quite a bit, breeders and all that. Morph Market, surprisingly, it's quite a bit bigger than, King Snake or Fauna ever were.
Oh, yeah.
By far, there's a
Yeah.
lot more of the general public, using it, and, more of buyers than sellers. But we're taking that, quite a bit further. We're doing a ton of advertising. I mean, I can check right now. It looks like in the past 30 days, we've had 55,000 clicks on our ads and 2.2 million views. So we're reaching a lot of new people that have never been reached before. Everything is going to really start to take off, hopefully over the next few months, especially as spring and summer, are happening and people are starting to, hatch babies and all that. So
Right.
that's
Well,
going to be
what are some of the things that you plan on implementing that aren't even there yet?
just like features on the
Yeah,
site.
just features. Yeah.
I mean, the main ones are the local section. So we're adding, the ability to buy things locally. That's going to be a new thing that the industry's never really had a way of, achieving, I guess.
Right.
That's going to be a big one. I'm pretty excited about that. The wholesale section is going to be pretty big. That's going to connect breeders directly with pet stores and kind of cut out a lot of the middlemen there and, question, a lot of pet stores have an issue trying to find quality animals, captive bred, from breeders. And this, along with the local section, are really going to help with that quite a bit.
Right.
There's quite a few other features we're going to add. I mean, there's definitely, I've got a list of about 100 things. So
Oh, okay.
we're hoping to get 50, 60 of them done this year.
Okay. Do you foresee any problems? Because you know how breeders are. Breeders and pet people historically don't get along because of the different ways to do things. Do you foresee any issues with that?
For sure. Yeah. I'm kind of working on some of that a little bit. I'm fairly outspoken. I agree with breeders to an extent, and I agree with, pet owners to an extent.
Right.
On both sides. And, I think a lot of the times they're wrong, but, they're, the answer always lies somewhere in between. That's the way I've always been with things. It's like moderation, kind of more moderate. And that's something, we're going to have, there's definitely disagreements and things like that, sellers or, breeders say, oh, this is how you do things. And then buyers are like, oh, I'm not going to buy from you because of this and this. And,
Right.
so there's some conflict there, but I'm confident that people will figure it out over the next few years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. We'll probably run into a few things because people want things a certain way too, on Morph Market. Some people want this, some people want that. It's like you gotta find compromise. So.
Right, because you're not you can't just offer up ideas. Like, what do you think will make Morph Market better? Because you'll get 1,000 different responses.
Yeah.
And you can't please everybody, at the same time. There's definitely like a disconnect sometimes even between buyers and sellers, and they're both breeders. I saw that you were doing something about rating a buyer also due to all the ghosting that's been going on when you spend.
Yeah, it's not as bad as you'd think, actually. A lot of people exaggerate it, and maybe some of them do have that bad of a, I guess, I don't know. The average on the site right now is around 20 to 25%. So 20 to 25% of inquiries end in a purchase.
Okay.
One in every 5, essentially.
Okay.
So 1 out of every 5 people who reach out to a seller via the inquiry button end up making a purchase, which is pretty high. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Right.
That's actually really good if you factor in the average e-commerce website has about a 3% conversion rate, which means out of every, everybody who goes on there, to buy something, only 3% of them are actually going to make a purchase.
Right.
And that's much higher on Morph Market. So Morph Market's pretty good. I feel that we can improve it a little bit, but also, it's, we're going to make things easier on the buyer and the seller in that regard and make it a little bit more fluid, I guess.
Right.
But at the same time, it's kind of the name of the game. Like, if you're vending a reptile expo, you're going to have 200 people come up to your table, but only 10 people are actually going to make a purchase.
Right.
So,
If that. Yeah.
If that, so our numbers are actually much better than that. And I mean, that's saying a lot. It is just a website that people can go to. And the fact that, it's comparable to a reptile expo, that's pretty good because you're in person with them. And on this, you're just messaging someone, they have to look up your reviews, things like that, which
Right.
we're going to modify reviews a little bit, make that a little more, I guess, easy to use and a little more transparency around the review system and rating system. Because that's something that right now Morph Market just isn't, it's not really a great platform to go and like see feedback and see, ratings and all that, because it's pretty much everybody has the same rating on there. It's pretty
Right.
close. So everybody sees that. They all, a lot of people brought that up to me. And we're going to kind of go a little bit more in like the Google route where, when you're looking up a restaurant or something like that, you can, maybe we'll add like public reviews that are kind of in the background where people can, even if they haven't bought from somebody, or if they bought from somebody outside of Morph Market, they can at least review them, and then we can see that, and we could give that like a very slight, amount of weight on the overall reviews, that they're getting. So obviously if they're not going to be public where people can see like, some random person that goes on there and writes a bad review or whatever. But,
Right.
it's something that we can see on our end, and that'll give us a little bit better idea, because there's some issues with the review system. So we're working on that. It's been pretty tough to figure out, but
Well, yeah, because you don't want to make it like Yelp, right? Where just
yeah.
any idiot could come on and give a bad review for somebody.
Yeah, like we might add that to where people can do a public review, but it's not actually public. Like it's it's more of a private thing. And then maybe those reviews, if they get approved, they'll add, a small percentage to, of weight to the actual rating. So something along those lines, I think kind of a hybrid between what we have now and something like Google or Yelp, is optimal. So
Yeah, I think the most important part is just for a negative review, at least for the other person to be able to respond.
yeah.
That's really the most important part. Now, there have been times with Morph Market in the past, at least that I remember, where Morph Market had to step in, and either they saw something so egregious that they wanted to ban the person, then of course that person goes on all of their social media and bashes Morph Market.
Yeah.
And how are you going to regulate that? Are you going to be stepping in between disputes between buyer and seller, and are you going to basically be policing that interaction? Or are you just like guys, just act like adults and work it out yourselves?
I'm going to try to have a little bit more of a hands-off approach with things compared to in the past. I'm also not going to, remove reviews, much at all, if anything. I mean, that's something that in all reality, if we have a seller that gets 10 bad reviews and they, come up with all these things and say, oh, this person reviewed me because of this, remove it. Well, now we remove 6 out of the 10 reviews, but then we have to make that fair to every seller, because now another seller only got 5, but now we need to remove 3 of those to make it equal with the other sellers. So it's better to be more hands off with it and just let it happen. Like, here you go. Here's your freedom of doing whatever you want. And I mean, if you have a lot of issues, then you better get them figured out. So, and on the buyer end too, sellers can review buyers and rate a buyer, and that stuff's going to be right there as well. So, on both ends, it's going to come down to both sides, actually kind of looking at themselves and being like, oh, I could do this better or do that better, and that's something that I feel like people need to take a little more responsibility on. Like if I'm on a site, with our business, we have, with Dubia, we've gotten a lot of bad reviews over the years. We've got way more positive, but I mean, we've had hundreds of negative reviews, hundreds of them.
Right.
But we have thousands of positive reviews. And,
Right.
you know, that's something that you just have to combat. Like you know, on Facebook and all that. I mean, you know, Facebook, I think we have probably 150, you know, negative reviews on Facebook and probably 3,000 positive.
Right.
But I'm not on there, you know, you can't remove them. So there's 150 negative, and of course there's people that go on there and they look at them and, oh, I'm never buying from them because of what this person said. And you got to take it with a grain of salt, because, you know, more people are going to go online and post a bad review than post a, you know,
a good one. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's just how it works. But it's all about fairness. So, you know, over the next year, maybe the average Morph Market seller only has like, you know, an 80% or a 4 out of 5, you know, rating. But if all of them have a 4 out of 5, you know, about a 4 out of 5 rating, well, then that kind of becomes the standard. Right now, most Morph Market sellers have like a 98% rating, which just doesn't seem right. And it's because it's so difficult to write reviews. And so there, you know, there's just so much, you know, friction there. So
Right.
that, you know, that's one big thing that, you know, that I'm working on, that I'm going to fix. And people might not like it, you know, but it's the only way to keep things fair. If I, you know, I can't favor anybody. That's my big thing. You know, I got to leave the platform and make it, you know, available for everybody in the same way. So,
Right. Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes and the Fatman family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every Focus Cubed Habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage that Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fat Man told you to drop them a line. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. This is just my opinion, okay? Has most of the friction is obviously in the ball python section. Is that correct?
I mean, ball pythons are, you know, like 70% of Morph Market right now.
Right.
So they are going to be the majority of things, just for that reason. But
well, and Morph Market in the past has made some missteps and then pulled back on them right away. Like I'm referring to the testing thing, the NIDO testing thing, where they were going to have the checkbox to see, you know, who would be willing to NIDO test their animals and prior to shipping and all that. Are you going to be implementing, you know, like biosecurity things that have to be done prior to shipment or once the shipment has arrived?
I don't think we're going to do anything, okay, in a perfect world, I would come in, I would add some measures, similar to that. I would, crack down on sellers and say, hey, if you're having this, this, and this, you're just not going to sell on here. But I don't think that fixes the problem. That's something that I had to kind of realize, myself, like, hey, in order to actually make change in the industry and fix some of the problems, you have to allow this stuff to happen, but crack down on it in a way where it gives people a chance. There might be sellers that, they keep selling and the buyers constantly are, getting mites, things like that. And if that seller has mites constantly and they're now getting more bad reviews, they're more likely to fix that problem.
Right.
Versus in the past. And if they continue to have these issues and you get, your reviews after, once you hit 50 reviews or something like that, maybe a different number, but if it's, more than 40% negative, then you get like suspended or something, something along those lines.
Okay.
My approach is more about getting places to change in a better way, whether, they sell on Morph Market or not. But if you just get rid of this stuff, you just make it, like, oh, this is going to be required. This is how we do things. Those people just leave and they go sell elsewhere. And that's not really fixing anything. So yeah, I really want to make, I'm not going to make any big, changes like that, where it's like, oh, we're going to require this, require that. But we might offer it as an option. It might be something where, hey, if you want to have, this testing done, you can have a little thing on the, on the animal listing itself, where there's like, a little badge or whatever that says, this animal's been tested for this, or this animal has been to a vet, and, things like that, where you can have that as an additional thing that is kind of an upsell for, a seller. But
okay, that leads into the next question. Is there going to be a pricing structure change
on like accounts and all that?
On paid accounts.
No, we're not going to change pricing at all. That's something that, I mean, realistically, I probably should. There hasn't been a big price increase lately, and it's something that, we're not really going to make any, money off of this. So it's something that, it would be nice. But I don't want to do that. That's not something that I'm really interested in doing, because I don't think that, a lot of people should, have to pay more. That we did add some additional features, I guess, and we are going to add more features, but we did, increase some of the limits on like the basic and the standard account. I'm trying to, right now, the premium and pro memberships are, they're more expensive, but they give a lot more value. And, so I'm really trying to give the basic and standard accounts that are cheaper a little bit more value, especially the standard. And I feel like that's going to be a good thing long-term, because, you've got, accounts on like the pro level, that are selling, $10,000 animals and, making a ton of money. And then you've got people paying only a few $100 less a year selling 5 animals, 10 animals.
Right.
For $200 a piece or $100 a piece. So it's definitely, the people with, a premium and pro account definitely have a far, higher value on, what they pay versus what they make through the platform. And so, my focus is really not going to like change pricing or anything like that, but I am going to add a little bit more value to the basic and especially the standard plan.
Okay.
So that should be and a lot more features on the site, in general. So going to add a lot of value over the next year.
Okay. Have you actually sat down with some of the bigger, like the power guys, like or the power sellers like Will Banks and Justin and Bob Vu and those kind of guys to kind of get an idea on what they want to see changed, or if they or if they have any ideas on what to do, and how did those meetings go?
Yeah, actually, all three of them, I've talked to, and they've all given me some feedback. Not as much as I'd hoped, but in some of them, I mean, they're more hands off. They're like, oh yeah, I had somebody handle this for me, or
Right, right,
so.
right,
I get it, but I think that in the next few months, I should be able to get a lot more feedback from. I feel like I'm going to get a lot more feedback from people on like more of the premium and standard plans, because they're going to be the ones actually doing all this stuff themselves.
right,
So a lot of people on like the pro plan, they probably have an employee that goes on and lists all their animals, and yeah.
right, right. Is there going to be a brand change at all, a brand image change as far as logos, as far as T-shirts, as far as um, like I know you had the Morph Market T-shirts with the seller on it. Also, like you're still going to be doing things like that. How's that going to come about?
We're going to keep most things the same. We've made some minor changes to the logo and things like that, not too noticeable, but we are going to come out with some like really cool, merch and stickers and things like that. Uh, Stickers actually are one thing that we've got like a couple 100,000 of them being made right now. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna send out a few hundred to a bunch of different sellers and have them give them out at expos, or put them in boxes with animals they ship out, things like that. So people like that, I think. But
Right. And then I saw the other thing that you did was a couple of months ago, Redline became the official shipper. Now you've opened up to all shippers. Which I think that's fair. I mean, because there was a lot of my DMs basically got flooded with how the hell does Redline just step in and become the official shipper? After they've been around for a month and a half. Um, do you think that was a mistake? And is Redline or is Morph Market ever going to have an official shipper now, or is it just
no.
going to be what the people want? It's just going to.
Yeah, I don't really want to have any kind of like favoritism or anything like that, any kind of official sponsors or partners, nothing along those lines on Morph Market, down the road. So that's something that, I can understand it, but I just think it alienates people, and I don't really want to do that. So
Right.
it's
Okay.
like, let everybody have their spot on there, and promote everybody, and allow everybody that opportunity. And that's just my take on it, I guess. But
Mm. Well, so overall, I mean, you didn't basically purchase Morph Market to just maintain status quo. Obviously, the you want to grow it. That's the
yeah.
the option that you're going after. And what's your plan on growing it? Is it to just get more members, or is it to do to get certain partnerships with other companies? Like how do you plan on growing it? Do you plan on growing it with new $20 a month users, or do you plan on growing it in a different way?
So a few things. Number one, we are going to launch Morph Market Plus, which is going to be basically $5 a month. It's going to be for buyers. They're going to have some special, features and animal management and things like that on their account. That's something that I think will be pretty good. I think a lot of people will do that. We're going to donate a portion of that to USARK and conservation. So
Mhm.
that's going to be, helpful as well. And it's going to help with, their buyer badge. They're going to have like a little thing that says that they're a Morph Market Plus member. And then they're going to have some other more like VIP access sort of thing, kind of like at a reptile expo. You go there and you can pay, to have your VIP, entry and
Right.
get first dibs on, anything available at the show. And we're going to do the same thing on Morph Market, where like for the first 24 hours, you'll have premium access, VIP access to listings,
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
which will help buyers and sellers, because people are more likely, they'll be more likely to buy something that is, something that they want, but also that they know that they have access to, and 80% of people don't yet.
Right. Right. Now, when you launch this, basically you have a system in place to cut off the people that do. Let's say I signed up for Morph Market Plus. You have a system in place that'll let me into the bigger portions of the site, but cut me off after 24 hours.
Yeah. So you will have basically any listing that gets pushed, each day. Let's say that you're selling a ball python. You list the ball python, and for the next 24 hours, only the Morph Market Plus members are going to be able to see that listing for the first 24 hours. After that, it's public. It's just like normal.
Right.
But that
Okay.
first 24 hours, it's specifically for them. And then it actually goes out, they get notified of, hey, this animal that you were looking for, this is available, so they can basically, as a Morph Market Plus member, you can just go on Morph Market like you normally would. And anything that you see is going to be, that's new, will be, highlighted, and you'll be able to see that, oh, this is something only I can see. So,
Okay.
yep.
All right. And then what are the tiers now? Is it, well, the Morph Market Plus thing isn't out yet, right?
No. And that's just going to be, something for more like buyers, and kind of almost like a Patreon sort of thing, where you get like perks and entries into like giveaways and specials and sales and things like that.
Right.
And then,
Well, is there going to be a Morph Market Patreon?
we were thinking about it, but we decided to go this route instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I'm sure John has done everything to be the face. Like I said, I'm sure people would pay extra money to get to know you, the way that John's been, coming out and hitting it.
Yeah.
And are all the messages going to you now, or are some of them still going to John?
A lot of stuff's still going to him. I've been getting, pretty slammed on this stuff, but he still handles quite a bit.
Right. Okay. And how long is he going to be staying for?
Not sure yet. We'll figure that out over the next several months.
That's one of the things I was noticing. John gives me scripts every episode, right?
Yep.
So there wasn't really any talking points about the new owner or the sale of Morph Market.
Yeah.
So was that intentional, or was that, that we want to keep it on the down low and not flood our inboxes with 2 million questions, or is it just,
a little bit? I mean, I knew I was coming on here, so I decided not to put anything in there about it for this, this last one. So.
Okay, good. Cause I got a little bit already figured out,
Yeah.
that has me yelling at John and just saying, fuck it, I'm going straight to Darien, So, that's the other thing. John has written my scripts over the last couple of years. Are you taking over for that now?
I guess I might find somebody to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're a hot shot. You don't gotta be writing to me, telling me what to say on my dumb dick and fart joke show. Like fucking. But yeah, no. I think it's a whole interesting dynamic on how the switchover is going to happen, because a lot of people have become accustomed to John, because John is heavy on social media. Whenever John
I
was
think we
putting
just
out a new,
removed a couple thousand friends, so
yeah, I'm just curious about how it's gonna go. Like, are you gonna run? I don't mean to sound like a dick when I say this, but because what John did was John would ask people what they wanted,
yeah.
like, and said, what are you guys looking for? Um, are you going to be doing that same thing, or are you just going to be like, listen, we're going to try and do it our way first, and then we'll worry about what you guys have to say? I mean, there's going to be some kind of
I'm gonna
transition.
do both. I'm gonna be doing both. I've already made some posts about it, and I'm actually in the process of adding a lot of the top sellers on Morph Market as friends on Facebook. Gonna invite them to a Facebook group specifically
Right.
for Morph Market sellers, and that is going to be kind of a place where everybody can go on there and just say, hey, this is what I want, and everybody kind of vote for everything. So I think that's going to be a good way to figure out what sellers want, and then also by them being able to go through on a post and liking and disliking things, they can see kind of what we can see exactly what people are wanting, and any new ideas, things like that. It's probably going to be a lot of things that people haven't thought of, and by going on there and upvoting things, they might see something. Oh, that's cool. That's something I want.
Right.
I never thought of it. So we're going to do a lot of that. I'm definitely going to implement a lot of things that other people want. I also have a lot of things I want to implement that I've thought about for a year, so
Right.
giving it a lot of time, giving it a lot of thought. I've spent a ton of time on this stuff. So I think I've got a decent idea of, what to do long term. Are things going to go exactly the way I want? No. But I think that, getting this feedback from sellers is, definitely key. So,
Right. Okay.
yeah.
And do you have a social media team, or is it just you?
I do have a couple people that help me with things.
Okay. And are the Dubia people gonna move on to this as well?
Yeah, we've got several people that are also part of Dubia that are helping with the Morph Market side of things as well. So,
And is this John is currently doesn't have a physical office, but you probably have a facility right now, right? And where are you located?
Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, you're in, okay. All right. So you go to a place every day instead of having, programmers work from the house. In other words, like you don't have a physical office. Is the Morph Market headquarters going to be a physical office now where people have to come into work every day, or is it still going to be
Most of it's
just
remote. Most
most
of
of
it's
it?
going to be remote. I mean, that's, most of the current team is all remote. Some of the new team is remote. There's definitely, a couple people that are here in Wichita, but 90% are still, all over the place.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember last week there was something about images on Morph Market. Are you guys going to watermark these images now, or are you going to just let them be? Because it's there's two sides to it. You got photographers that are like, don't watermark my image, and then you probably have sellers that want you to watermark their images because they don't want them stolen. So
Yeah, we're not going to watermark anything. It's just too much of a hassle. I don't want to deal with people who don't want it, people who do, just let everybody do it if they want, kind of thing.
Right. Well, and what do you think what's the 5-year goal for Morph Market? Because obviously you got to keep Dubia running at the same time now. So what's the 5-year plan for Morph Market?
I mean, we've got a ton of stuff, over the next 5 years. There's quite a few things that aren't going to get done this year. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And, yeah, we definitely have plenty of things for, the next 2 to 3 years on our roadmap. And we've got some other like bigger stuff, potentially adding fish to the site. That's something that we want to do maybe in a year or two.
Right.
And, kind of other markets, I guess, maybe outside of the US potentially. But really, over the next couple of years, it's going to be getting a lot more involved with expos and pet stores. Those are really the two key things here that I think that Morph Market could be a huge asset to both pet stores and expos. And it all kind of goes hand in hand. If you can go, you go to an expo or you go on Morph Market and you can see all expo information, you can see what animals are going to be available. That's a big thing, that kind of integration is going to just be huge for, both Morph Market and for expos. And then over the next couple of years, another big one is more of the animal management side of things, and more so the buyer side, where, let's say a person goes out and they buy a ball python from an expo, from a random seller, or from, some random pet store. And basically that pet store or that, expo vendor can transfer that animal right to the buyer. And then the buyer now has all of that animal's, history information.
Right.
They get information and like push notifications about the animal. So if they want to, get, updates on things, they can get notifications about going to a vet or upgrading the enclosure size, things like that, where it'll push for more education and care, husbandry things to people who don't necessarily know what they're doing. So
Right.
that's something that's really big. And then also seller to seller, where, you've got a breeder selling an animal to another breeder, being able to transfer that animal over, and that new breeder having the access to all the lineage and all the data on that animal. And then they pair it up in the system, and then, they hatch out babies from that. They're able to go back in when they sell that baby to somebody else, they're selling that hatchling and it's to some other random breeder. That breeder is now able to get that animal's data that also includes the parents and the grandparents and everything else.
Right.
Like, you can see all that information and history. And
Right.
so it kind of connects everything together in a way, and prevents issues long-term with, lineage and different genetic lines and, all that. So it kind of becomes like kind of a verification for breeders.
Right. Like a pedigree almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And when you say you're marketing Morph Market to pet stores, does that include like the chains?
No.
No. Okay. Just the local pet. Because I was going to say, you start doing that, that would be a big disruption, in in the people that do supply to the chains. So, so basically local pet stores or mid-sized pet stores.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much all the small and medium-sized stores that are going to be, buying animals from a bunch of random places. Now they can get them all, right there, and maybe even local, which would be beneficial for everybody. Everybody's saving money on shipping and things like that. So
Yeah, well, I think the local thing is a great idea, especially for something like that.
yeah,
Because imagine a breeder could get rid of 20 animals by driving 2 miles into town,
exactly.
to the local pet store. And but I'm sure there's other problems that come along with that, right? Like there has to be different pricing structure for wholesale versus retail, and a lot of these ball python people don't realize that, So, what are some changes that are going to be implemented in the non-ball python space, or is everything just going to be site wide?
Yeah, everything's gonna be site wide. Yeah, I'm not really putting any priority to, ball pythons over anything else.
Mm.
And, it's definitely going to become a platform, for everything. And we're not really going to, I'm pretty much prioritizing things based on, popularity on the site, and that's kind of how we organize like the homepage, categories and things like that. It's all, basically structured by popularity. So that'll
Okay.
change over time. It's just like, hey, whatever's, the top 10 categories, that's what shows up on the homepage.
Right.
So
Right. Well, also, I really I like the social media platform or the Facebook for reptiles.
yep,
Part of this whole thing because I think that there has to be a place,
yep,
where I mean, Facebook is well, the social media platform introduces certain problems too, right? Because
yeah,
you've seen the drama on Facebook.
oh
Like
yeah,
what makes you think that there should have to be some kind of checklist that people have to qualify for the social media site,
yep,
because I don't know if you noticed this, but there's a lot of children in this industry, a lot of adult children that will end up asking a question and then it devolves into to mother insults and everything else. So
yep.
I've seen more of that on Facebook than I have anything else. So what are you guys gonna do to prevent it just being a smaller version of Facebook?
I mean, we're gonna make it more like Twitter, just free and everybody can shit talk however they want. I mean,
I like that. I like that.
but to a point, there will definitely be things where it's like, okay, this gets out of hand. Like, see you later. We don't need any kind of extreme stuff going on there where you're
Right.
just
Yeah, you're just a dick.
yeah,
You can't give people platforms to just be a dick, right?
yep.
Um, well, I'm sure you don't want this, but how could people get in touch with you?
Um, I mean, yeah, sellers, a lot of sellers, already, I'm adding them on Facebook. A lot of them have added me.
Mm,
That's kind of an easy way. Definitely the main thing would just be Darien at morphmarket.com. That's pretty much the easiest way.
okay. Well, dude, I mean, thank you for taking the time. I know you got to be hella busy right now, and I appreciate you sitting down with me for an hour. Um, but thank you again. And if there's anything I could do to help you, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm basically you're I guess you're my new John. You're my John 2.0. Okay, so yeah, if there's anything I could do, just let me know. But thanks again, brother. I'm
Yeah.
sure a ton of people are going to watch this, and I'm sure a ton of people have learned something from it. So,
Awesome. Well, yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
all right, brother. Thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All righty. Have a good night.
You too. Geeky Geckos is Arizona's largest gecko breeder, and they're helping usher the fat man into the leopard gecko space. They have a really popular YouTube channel for education, care, and breeding, and all that other fun shit. And they have an active community on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord over at Geeky Gecko Creations. Oh, since they're in Arizona and it's fucking 98 degrees there in the winter, they could ship year round. Plus, if you buy from them, they basically have free consultations about your collection for life. That's forever. Forever and ever. Call or text Frank today at 480-299-7657 with any questions or inquiries that you have. That's a fucking man that stands by his shit, that he's willing to give out his fucking cell number to all of you degenerates. There's another Snakes and a Fat Man special with Geeky Gecko Creations. It's hard to fucking say. There's a special 10% discount on all applicable animals using code SATFM10 at checkout. Go check out Frank and his awesome fucking animals at geekygeckocreations.com. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out for the whole show with myself and Richard and Darien. I hope you guys had a fucking great time. And don't forget to enter the new Fat Man contest with Mike's Monitors, where you could win a 2023 Mertens monitor. All right, if you liked what you've seen here today, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. Listen, you'll have fun there. We have exclusive videos, discounts, a bunch of other shit, and it's really been a great time. There's really just like the coolest people in my fucking Patreon. They're all over here, okay? They're all over here. You could be like these guys and be part of the only reptile cool guy club on the old interweb. And guess what we don't have there? You know it. Discord. We don't bother doing a fucking Discord because you can't be in a Discord and not be toxic. I know for a fact motherfuckers have 3 screens open with 3 different Discords open all the time, talking shit or reading shit about people, and it's all fucking negative. I don't want to say it's all negative, but 90% of it is fucking negative, and the Snakes and the Fat Man Patreon will have no part in it. No toxic Discord at patreon.com/Snakes and the Fat Man. Come on over and join the fucking party. The open Zoom call for reptile keepers is only happening once a month now. I'm sure that you guys fucking are tired of hearing that. Last time, I think we had almost 60 people in the fucking Zoom call just hanging out and fucking having fun. And there's a chance that the Zoom call for this month will take place in Tennessee when I'm there on vacation. So there might possibly be a Zoom call next Sunday from my hotel room in Tennessee, okay? I haven't decided if I want to do it yet, but if I do decide to do it, I'll make sure I put an ad up so that you guys can come hang out with me in the hotel room for a little bit. I bet that's a lot of your fucking dreams, huh? See? That's what I do. I provide dreams. I'm a dream maker. Also, don't forget to watch Fat Man Live, which is happening on Sunday, April 16th, where we're going to have the gorgeous Tara Zellers on. Tara and her cousin, Angela, what the fuck, it's some kind of Jewish last name, Eisenhower, are going to both be on the show because they literally just opened up a reptile exclusive pet shop down in Largo, Florida. Now, funny thing is, I knew Tara 20 years ago and met her out in Hollywood. So we're probably going to talk about some pretty funny fucking Hollywood stories. We'll talk about their reptile shop. I think that all of you guys, if you're in Largo or the surrounding area, should go visit them. But these are 2 fucking hotties that are going to be on the Sunday show. And, you know, they're going to take part in Glork, the gorgeous ladies of reptile keeping. Okay? It's a fucking cool name, man. Fucking name makes me laugh. Anyway, that's going to be on Sunday, April 16th. Now, finally, make sure you guys show up for Bronx Down Under on April 25th. I know we literally just announced that we were going to do it every week, but I'm going on vacation, and both Brian and Luke are too pussy to do the fucking show just by themselves. So we have to take this week off. But, you know, listen, I don't feel bad. I'm on fucking vacation. I take like 2 vacations a year. All right? Give me a break, man. Shit. Anyway, April 25th, where Brian's going to run the discussion, and the discussion is going to be OnlyFans. It'll be a lot to fucking top my Bigfoot episode, but I got a feeling that an OnlyFans episode may be able to top it. Again, that's April 25th. That's, 2 Tuesdays from now. Go subscribe on YouTube, follow me on IG, friend me on Facebook, whatever. If you haven't done it already, just fucking do it, man. Fucking help me out. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Thank you so much for hanging around. The fact that all you guys support me does not fall lightly on these fucking shoulders. So I appreciate everybody that fucking stays for any of the fucking shows that we do here. I love all you guys, and I'll see you back on this show in 2 weeks. Take care, guys. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2 refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fat Man. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to SeaSerpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks, and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.